too fly. Yeah, I'm feeling myself. Ain't no chance I'm coming down, no. Got this whole view to myself. Yeah, why would I give it up? Why do they wanna come take my place? I work too hard for it, don't need a replacement. This my vocation. Now I got rollies all in rotation. Hop on a jet just to take a vacation. Remember the moments was trapped in the basement. Now the hard work is all taking me places. Water on bed like we trapped in the matrix. Bet on myself and go ball out in Vegas. Living a life like I'm rich and I'm famous. Don't see the grind that I know that it came with. I ain't make it this far for myself. I had to prove to everybody else. I had to set them straight. I had to boss up. I had to renovate. I know they hate when you elevate. The second of losses, I'm handing them out. Yeah, I had to go delegate. It feel like I'm floating, I'm lost in the moment. I swear I could levitate. They never believed that I would really fly. I had to go demonstrate. I had to set them straight. They hate when you elevate. Elevate, elevate. They hate when you elevate. Elevate, elevate. Yeah, they hate when you elevate. Elevate, elevate.
Burn Live, y'all marijuana keeping y'all connected. Hashtagging these red eyes, changing the viewers' eye red. Keeping underage smoking off social media. Definitely killing myself for your entertainment. Sitting here with friends and family starting a cannabis. I love starting cannabis stations. I'm here to start a cannabis station. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Burn Live show. Welcome. Shout out to Rumble. Shout out to YouTube. Shout out to Bookface for joining me on this late night edition. Sorry so late, but you know, they're changing my times. So therefore I have to figure out a good time to go live with you guys. And I've been figuring out that, hey, just go live with you guys, and whenever y'all see it, you see it. You know, kind of heartbreaking that I had to do it like this. Shout out to everybody that do watch my shows later on that day. That's why I love saying good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever time you're watching this. Trying to get my system up for the election. Election is coming soon. And I'm starting to understand why I'm having these technical difficulties. So it's going to make me a better podcaster before I can sit here and talk and explain. And I always thought I needed to do that anyway, was getting a better mode of wanting to explain what I want to talk about and things that are going on social media in today's agenda. For as today, you know, we got basketball popping off real good. You do got the World Series, first round of World Series, which was electrifying to watch if you like baseball, and especially if your two teams are in the game. So we're talking about the Yankees and LA Dodgers, which is the two biggest franchise in baseball. What, baseball franchise? Baseball history? How would she put that? Baseball history. So LA Dodgers and the Yankees are the two most expensive teams that you have out there. And They both made the World Series, and tonight was game one. Went into extra innings, into the 10th inning, had a walk-off home run by Mr. Freeman. It was electrifying. It was exciting. I didn't get to watch it, but even me just watching the highlights alone was good enough for me and let me know that this was a good show. It was a good game. Also, I do have this video I want to talk about so bad. I hope that y'all can be able to hear it. Charlemagne, the GOAT, Charlemagne the donkey. Charlemagne went on CNN. He had a sit down with Anderson Cooper, and they got to talk about democracy and Kamala and Trump like that. And I promise you, it was one of the best back and forth from two people who agrees with who they want in the office. Now, these people agree who they want, but the rhetoric and the message that they're trying to reach to their audience was a discussion that took place on CNN, and it was a very good discussion. I appreciate it, and I definitely want to go over this with you and break it down and talk to you about it. Give you my opinions about it, and then we're gonna go from there. Rapper Lil Durk arrested for murder. We will be talking about that a little bit later too. I just saved it. I've been seeing highlights about that on my timeline. Not gonna lie to nobody. Been seeing that, didn't know how true it was, didn't have no information to back up, but I just seen information, so we will be talking about that probably later on today or sometime this week. But further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I definitely 100% want to talk about this right here. This exchange from Anderson Cooper and Charlemagne the God. I'm going to play some of it and we're going to talk about it. We're going to discuss it. Ladies and gentlemen, especially on Rumble, especially on Bookface, especially on YouTube, please get your blunts, joints, bongs out, whatever you need to smoke, relax, chill for the next 45 minutes to an hour. I think we're probably going to go on an hour. It's late night. You know, I normally do 2-hour show, but it's late night, so I might just do out. Fire in the hole, y'all. Let's get into it. Ooh, I like that. Fire in the hole right before I start showing my videos. Fire in the hole.
That she thinks that she believes Donald Trump is a fascist. Got a lot of headlines because it was the first time that she said it. She's been going on for days saying Mark Milley said he's a fascist. This person said this. You raised the question of authenticity in your interview with her, and that was an authentic moment where she says, "Yeah, I do think he's a fascist," and I think that's why it had a reaction. You know, Donald Trump, he, you know, for whatever you think about him, if you like him, if you hate him, he is certainly who he is. He's showing us who he is every single day.
Yeah, which is a fascist, and it's crazy because you still don't have news networks having that conversation. Like when somebody says, when somebody questions Kamala Harris's blackness or is he a DEI hire, y'all will have roundtable discussions about that. Asking that question. How come you're not having roundtable discussions asking, is Donald Trump a fascist? Actually, not even asking it, stating it. I mean, when you look at the things that he's talking about doing, jailing journalists, jailing his political opponents, turning the military on American citizens. The guy said he wanted to terminate the Constitution, overthrow the results of an election. How come that is not the topic of discussion on networks like CNN every day?
But do you think that, I mean, you were raising this with Kamala Harris about her own authenticity, about her own willingness to just, you know, say things that aren't crafted. Do you think she needs to do more? Or that, you know, Trump's going to go. Apparently, Trump's going on, is going to tape a thing with Joe Rogan. Do you think she should do that?
I think that she should keep calling Donald Trump a fascist. And I think that Americans need to keep looking at the rhetoric of Donald Trump, because I don't know why we're even thinking about electing somebody who's
Name calling. Calling Trump a fascist 2 weeks before, and I've been hearing this a lot from different people, so I kind of now understand where people are coming from. But calling Trump a name 2 weeks before the election begins, before you actually start voting, still calling him a fascist, people want to know. People wants to know, is that going to change people's opinion? Is it going to change people's opinion that thinks highly of Trump? We're saying this rhetoric, we're saying these statements to change voters' idea of who they want to cast for voting. Is that going to work? No, that's not going to work, or yes, it's going to work. Please put down in the comments your opinion. My opinion is, like, from what I've been seeing in the research, it's not going to work. There have been too many panels, CNN, CBS, NBC, Fox, all these places have actually went out here and made these statements and comments and sit downs at round tables, and to call a person a fascist, to call a person a Nazi, to call a person whatever you want to call Trump, it's not going to work. Sorry, it's not. It hasn't. It won't, for the simple fact that people have, I think right now, I'm guaranteed, like I've been hearing, people have made up their mind of what they think about Trump and who they think about.
Talking about putting people in camps. I don't know why we're talking, or why we want to elect somebody who's talking about mass deportation. I don't know why we're having this conversation about somebody who wants to turn
Mass deportation. He made that statement, because I will have it played again. He made that statement, y'all, like as if he is going to be deported. Like American citizens will be deported if this doesn't take place. Now, do anybody believe that this is going to take place? Do anybody believe this is part of history in the making? I remember somebody even said that he gonna deport everybody, that he gonna deport me too. And I'm like, what did I do? I ain't saying nothing bad about Trump.
somebody who's talking about putting people in camps. I don't know why we're talking, or why we want to elect somebody who's talking about mass deportation. I don't know why we're having this conversation about somebody who wants to terminate the Constitution to overthrow the results of an election. Are we supposed to be a patriotic country? Whenever somebody like Colin Kaepernick takes a knee in this country, everybody talks about, oh, that's so unpatriotic.
Patriotic person, but yet again, to be honest with you and me both, they did not elect. We did not elect Kamala. You did not pick Kamala. Did nobody, from my understanding, choose Kamala for running for office? So is that, or is that not killing dictatorship? Is that not getting rid of democracy, not letting the Democratic Party choose their candidate? Nobody in the lower spectrum is talking about that. Nobody that's a Democrat, that I know that's a Democrat, is actually talking about it like, yo, is this or is this not what y'all try not to do? Okay? I'm just asking.
But a guy can say he wants to terminate the Constitution to overthrow the results of an election, and nobody cares. Like even me bringing it up now, you going back to Kamala and Joe Rogan. Anderson.
Yeah.
Who gives a damn?
I think you give a damn who's elected president, and
yeah, that president is a fascist. That's talking about putting people in camps. That's talking about, once again, terminating the Constitution to overthrow the results of an election. That's talking about, jailing his political opponents. Like, that rhetoric doesn't scare people.
We talk about this every single. This is what
I don't think
I'm talking about this every night.
I don't think y'all have enough conversations about it. I feel like I heard more on this network about, is Kamala Harris black, than I do about Donald Trump being a fascist.
Well,
am I wrong?
Honestly, that's bullshit. I'm sorry.
Oh, I like that.
That's, no, I'm not. Look, I'm a huge fan of yours. Okay. But to say that we're sitting around discussing, is Kamala Harris black? Like,
I've seen that. I've seen those roundtable discussions a lot. That's bullshit, Anderson. For you to say that y'all don't have those conversations.
I've never asked somebody,
I'm not saying you.
Not you. He said the network.
I don't think anyone I don't think any anchor on this network has been going around saying, is she black?
Y'all never had
definitely.
We have had. Look, I'm sure we have.
Our Nation podcast is the light skinned lady over here, and I just like how she just throwing 2 cents in, not really saying nothing detrimental. I have been watching her podcast. I haven't watched it enough to where I want to make videos about it, but I have been watching her podcast to learn who she is, and she is a strong woman who believes that Kamala Harris, even though Kamala Harris is not black, you know what I'm saying, but y'all really want Kamala Harris to represent the black family, the black representatives. You want her to represent the culture, which is, I'm sorry. I just need a better understanding of why she needs to represent the culture. Oh, look at the face. Look at the face. What do we miss, y'all? Let's rewind and see it again.
Not
Not you.
network.
He said the network. He
I don't
said
think
the
anyone,
network.
I don't think any anchor on this network has been going around saying, "Is she black?"
Y'all never
It's
had
definitely. It's
We have
definitely.
had. Look, I'm sure we have had, nutty people or people who have strongly held beliefs who I may disagree with, who somewhere on some panel have said something. But
Yeah.
I will just
But
speak up for what I do on the show. I do believe it's important to get people different viewpoints, as long as they're willing to have a legitimate conversation. It's just what I don't like are surrogates who come out and just spout talking points that they don't even believe, and those are people I tried to eliminate from having ever on the air again.
I think no network has honest conversations about Donald Trump. You haven't had. Nobody's had honest conversations about Donald Trump since 2016. I saw last night they were talking about the double standard that exists between Donald Trump and the vice president. But it's always a double standard with Trump, whether it's with Hillary, whether it's against Biden.
The question is, why did y'all try to put another female up against Trump when Trump already beat a female? So he can beat a female. Then you had a male he lost to, but then y'all like, we're gonna try it again with another female. You're gonna try it again with another female. Do anybody think at any point of time that maybe this was just not the ideal thing to do? I'm just saying.
With Kamala, you talk about him being a threat to democracy, but we don't treat him like one.
I don't know what you've been watching, but I don't know.
How do you treat somebody like that if he's running for president? Y'all, when you treat him, do y'all want to treat him? How do they want to treat Trump? Y'all want him locked up, but y'all want to do it the right way. Or do y'all want to do it by any means necessary? I think that's the big hoorah right there. Do they want to lock him up the right way, the correct way, the way where you would get yourself a pat on the back, the way that you would do it the correct way? Or is it just doing it to where you just want to get it done? Is it one of those I want to get done situations? Or is it really legit on the situation? Like, hey, I'm trying to take them down. I'm curious. I am so curious. In that state of form like that. Because y'all call him a fascist, y'all call him a Nazi, y'all call him this, you call him that. But then we're not allowed to call Kamala anything. You can't say nothing bad about Kamala. Can't call out her race. Can't call out her incompetent. Can't call out that her tossing of the salad, meaning speech, not giving you no real dialogue, no real push towards freedom. Don't answer people at town halls. These are all things I be saying, bro. Stephen A. Smith went on the Fox. So the biggest thing that's been going on, y'all, is the Washington Post and LA Times, who normally sponsors. Somebody is not sponsoring no president this year endorse. They're not endorsing no president. These news company been endorsing presidents since somebody said like 1988. Since 88, they've been endorsing, and all of a sudden now they're not endorsing. And it's a big issue. Also, you still got strike. You still got missiles going on in other countries. I'm trying to see what country this is in the Middle East, lighting up the skies. One of this probably most likely Israel. So yeah, so this Israel war is still going on. People fighting and killing each other. Jew with another war. This is where I get scary and think about stuff that you hear. Yeah. We not supposed to be, I mean, war is war. War is gonna happen. Understand. But yeah. I'm just gonna put it out here. War is gonna happen. But when certain people get in wars, when the sky get lit up like this, it makes me think biblical. It makes me go to thinking about the Bible and what Bible says about certain people and certain things that we shall and shall not engage with. Certain people we just don't mess with. And look, if you don't like them people, it is what it is. I'm just saying, certain things you just look at that. I'm not shooting stars. I'm not falling stars. Those are missiles, and somebody's gonna get hurt. And then the evacuation of places. Now, understandable. And Dubai got hit with a bomb, and it was poor. And then they came back so damn strong to be one of the richest countries. Is Dubai a country? That's a good question. Is Dubai a country? Hey Siri, is Dubai a country?
Dubai is not a country, but a city in the United Arab Emirates.
Okay, a city.
This answer is from worldatlas.com.
So that city got bombed, and look what happened. They came back beautiful. They're one of the richest cities probably in the world. There we go. They're so rich and beautiful that other countries are actually looking at them and looking at what they do. Yeah, I ain't never really looked at a Arabic news station. Now look, I'm just saying we looking. Only reason I'm not playing for one because I know my auto sound messed up. People have been leaving, so obviously the sound sounds messed up and stuff like that. So therefore, I'm just showing you how it looks in other countries. We can't, because people would sit up here and say, "Oh man, you don't know how it is in other countries," and I'd be like, "Yeah, you're right." But I can look on the news, on their news channel, their news feed, and look how they're set up, and like, man, let's see how they're set up. Is it looking like the TV show MASH and their TV company, or do they look a little updated like us? Do they looking like they're catching up with us? Because if you want to talk about all this catch up and who's behind, and we can look up the little articles when you're looking up military ships and who got some of the best military out there, and you can be like, oh God, man, America still got some of the best military and stuff like that when it comes to stuff like from my understanding, submarines have we have some of the best advanced submarines, but yet again, we still have to look out for Russia and stuff like that. That's the stuff that I be meaning by, we got to look out and be careful, but still, we got some of the top notches. Okay. We still booming like it ain't no tomorrow. ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's just a late night rant, just a late night talk, late night smoke with you guys. I appreciate what I have been seeing these last 2 to 3 years. People may look at this differently from how I look at it. I'm just stating how I'm looking at it. I'm liking the push. I'm liking the talk. I'm liking that people are coming out admitting, hey, if you're scared, you're scared. At least you're admitting that I'm scared. I like the people that tell me they don't care. I like the people that tell me that they want to get into it. They're not knowledgeable. See, I think more of the admitting part is appreciative, and then still capable of having a conversation. I had a conversation with 2 other people. It just popped in my head. I think the guy was flirting. I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm just going off vibes or whatever. And I just randomly asked them, was they going to vote? Curious. And he was like, it's a touchy subject. I said, why is it so touchy? Yeah. I don't think people realize that you talking about things that matter. You and me and everybody that have these conversations have genuine conversation, dialogue, back and forth. It helps. You're helping. Because when we talk amongst each other, when we learn about different things that are going on, when we learn about the concerns that are really hitting the everyday people, then we can fight for right policies, fight for right laws, fight so you can smoke good and not trip off the police. Maybe, you know what I'm saying? I believe one day, I think it's going to be messed up. Now, hear me out. Put my feet up, getting comfortable. Normally don't do this, but, tonight is one of those nights. I believe that marijuana is going to get comfortable. It's going to get too comfortable. Yes, it's going to be legal for us to smoke weed walking up and down the street. It's going to be like a cigarette. It's going to be like alcohol. It's going to be that open in public. I think the main thing that slows down weed for us that is not out in the public as much as other things is the smell of how loud it attracts. But yeah, one day you're going to be able to smoke up and down the streets. If they keep decriminalizing it, bro, you're going to be able to smoke it in a car. The crazy thing about it, yes, I'm going to say this. The crazy thing about it, the more you decriminalize it, you're still not looking out for the main people. There are 2 main groups of people who I believe should be able to smoke weed, just not on duty. There's a difference of in your system and getting caught smoking when I get pulled over by the police. I don't care about all that. I smell it in your car. None of that. Just a simple sit there, smoke, know what time I gotta leave. Boom, got my route. I'm en route. Know it's gonna be a long one. No, it's gonna be a long one, y'all. Let me smoke good, go. But I can drink. I can drink. I can smoke cigarettes. I can even pop pills. It's crazy that you can do all of these other things and still keep your driver's license. You can do all of these things and still keep your driver's license. But you can't smoke weed to keep your driver's license. And I'm just speaking for the truckers, speaking for the police officers, the firefighter, ambulance. Now somebody might shoot. Those are federal jobs, KP. Those are federal jobs. How you gonna make federal jobs out here smoking weed? Like only good argument. I'm not good argument. But I'm saying those same people can do everything else up under the sun. Everything else up under the sun. No, you can't do drugs. Understandable. But I'm saying they can pop pills, they can smoke cigarettes, and they can drink alcohol. Sir, I was leaving 5 hours. I took 2 shots at this time. I thought sitting here waiting it out. I waited 3 hours, ate real good, took a nap, woke up, boom, hit the road. Police pulled me over for some odd reason, checking, boom. Smell like, look, this is what time, bang, 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 bang. You know, that police officer might do the test. All right. Cool, go on about your business. Popping pills, pull you over for whatever. Hey, here's my prescription. This is what I take it. This is what times I take it at. I got to be on the route. Go on about your business. Big smoke and big vape coming out of there. They pull over. Hold on, y'all. Let me take this little message. I think I got somebody that's in Vegas. I got somebody in Las Vegas. Yo, I'm going to have to check this out real quick. So, without further ado, I'm going to play this for you. Sorry. Just want to check something out.
Look up your early vote location and vote early.
Boy, they is playing me. Oh, yeah. Let me let y'all listen to this.
On price gouging and cap the cost of prescription drugs.
Now that's what I call an economic plan.
Israel officially launching its retaliatory campaign against Iran after roughly 180 ballistic missiles were fired directly at Israel earlier this month. Hal Kempfer still standing by to discuss this developing situation. Lone Burstein will be joining us shortly here as well. Hal, so this statement is what we have from the IDF so far. I want to focus on one of those last sentences there. They say their defensive and offensive capabilities are fully mobilized. What are their defensive and offensive capabilities in that particular part of the Middle East, around Iran?
their ability to do strike missions with aircraft, F-35s, F-16s, F-15s. They would have those capabilities. They have ballistic missile capability. They have drone capability, and there were reports earlier in the week that that there were drones. In fact, I think that was part of that leaked document story, that there were drones that the Israelis have. And of course, they have what are referred to as stealth drone capability, which is the ability to put drones in that cannot be detected. And I wouldn't be surprised if those might be used against air defense systems, maybe not taking out the nuclear sites, but taking out a number of air defense capabilities in or around some of these very sensitive Iranian sites. Part of what they're doing is very kinetic, as from all the reports we're seeing, but part of it also may be part of messaging, which says, okay, if we want to keep this going, this is where it can go, and now you can't protect these sites because we took out your air defense. So I would not be surprised if that would be something we might see the stealth drone capability being used for. Certainly on the defensive side, there's the entire Iron Dome system with all the different missile capabilities that they have across the board. There's anti-drone capability, although as we've seen in the recent weeks, there are some gaps in the drone air defense capabilities because some drones got through. And of course, the other part is that the U.S. has THAAD, which is a very high altitude air defense system, and there's about 100 U.S. troops there. And within the context of what's happening, those U.S. troops in Israel, not only could they become a target, I would be surprised if the Iranians, if they, and they're almost surely going to do a counterstrike. I would be surprised if the Iranians don't intentionally try to strike the THAAD system to take out the capability, but also to try and incur any casualties they can with the U.S. forces in order to make a larger statement. That would seem to be very logical with what they do. Now, as far as we know, and certainly from what everybody's saying, that the U.S. has had no part in conducting these strikes. This is strictly Israel that's conducting these strikes, although the U.S. does have intelligence sharing with Israel. So on that level, certainly there's a level of cooperation, but that's not the same thing as saying that U.S. missiles or aircraft entered Iranian airspace to conduct strikes. That has not happened, although throughout the Persian Gulf and throughout the Middle East, there are U.S. forces there who are prepared, ready, and in the past have interdicted Iranian missiles and drones headed in the direction of Israel. And I'm assuming that they're all on high alert right now, ready to do the same, depending on what comes next.
Fox's Jackie Heinrich saying 2 U.S. defense officials are telling Fox News that the U.S. was notified in advance of Israel's plan to strike Iran tonight in retaliation for Iran's October 1st attack. 2 defense officials also telling Fox that the U.S. had no involvement in Israel's operation. Remind us, Hal, what has the U.S. said about what not to strike? When we're talking about what they've said to Israel, what have they said that they don't want Israel to target?
Well, Austin, that's an interesting anthology. One thing that Israel was kind of hinting at was a nuclear capability. And the fear is that Iran is very close or could be very close to creating a functional nuclear warhead. And they have quite a bit of ballistic missile capability. So you can put those two together and see why everyone would be concerned about that. So the thought was that they might strike the nuclear facilities, and the U.S. came out, as did others, and basically suggested that Israel not do that, or I should say, tried to tell Israel not to do that. And Israel, pretty much as far as we know, probably took that off the list. Now, we will know more once we know what targets they actually hit. But that's what that was kind of one of the things that the U.S. has said, don't hit that. Then President Biden, I don't know if he's making an off-the-cuff statement or something. He mentioned, well, maybe they should hit their oil capabilities or oil production, oil refineries. And then the price of global oil jumped 10% the next day. And then the day after, he came back and says, no, they shouldn't hit the oil refineries and oil facilities. And so as far as we know, the U.S. position and what we've been telling Israel is that they will not hit those facilities. And as far as we know, Israel, from the statements made, has agreed that they would not take out the nuclear facilities, and they would not aim for the oil facilities either, but that leaves open a number of other targets. And certainly the fact that there are reports of strikes in Tehran indicates that they probably went after some top leadership, command and control type targets, perhaps something tied to the Al-Quds Force, which is their international covert network dealing with all these terrorist groups and militias all over the place. And of course, the parent organization of that, which is the Revolutionary Guard Corps, the IRGC, which also controls the ballistic missiles and a lot of the drones that have been seen in the past, to include drones and missiles that were sent to attack Israel, and certainly back in April.
Hey, want to know how I got this $50,000 check for an accident I was involved in over 5 months ago? Look, if you've been injured in a car accident that wasn't your fault, you have to watch this video. There's a little known loophole that attorneys and insurance companies don't want you to know about. A loophole that allows you to get the maximum compensation that your accident actually deserves without settling for less, jumping through hoops, or contacting firm after firm that really don't care pleading your case. It only took me 30 seconds to go through. Now I'm getting $50,000 for my accident, the same one they offered me $5,000 for. And if you give me 1 minute, I'll show you the exact site that I used and how easy it is so you can do the same. I'm about to show you how I got this $50,000 check that I'm about to deposit into my bank account for an accident I was involved in just 5 months ago. The same accident that the insurance company offered me $5,000 for. And how I did it without settling for less, jumping through hoops, or contacting firm after firm pleading my case. And I'm going to show you in real time how you can do it too, in 30 seconds or less. Ready? Okay, so there's this app called the Case Connect Compensation Calculator. It's a little known tool that's apparently 100% free. It's pretty crazy. It lets you know if your case qualifies for a big check and what that check can look like. Here, let me show you the site. All I did was come to this page, then I answered 4 questions to see if my accident qualified.
And the missile attacks in October, early October. So those would be high on my list of things that were probably being targeted.
Al, I want to bring in Alon Burstein. He's a Tufts University visiting assistant professor and Israel Institute fellow. As always, Alon, it's good to see you. Your initial reaction to what little we know about this developing situation.
So it's good to see you, Austin, and good to see you also, Hal. Look, we don't know a lot so far about what is actually happening, but the initial reports started with explosions that occurred in Tehran. Then there were reports of explosions that were occurring in several other cities in Iran, some of them quite important and interesting when it comes to what might be targeted in this initial attack. Then, and this I think may be a critical point, we started to see reports of explosions that are occurring, very likely targeting Iranian interests across the Middle East. We have seen reports in Syria, we've seen in Damascus, we've seen in several.
Sorry, I had to sit there and watch. I had to make a phone call when you got people from out of town. No, you kind of want to check in, make sure people cool, but straight and stuff like that. So that's what that was. Appreciate some people tuning in and listening to the video. Sorry that everything is so bad and sound messed up. I'm working on it, y'all. I'm working on it. So sorry. Yeah, it makes me mad and makes me upset that I can't give y'all the quality that I've been giving y'all and stuff that I've been doing that can't even play no shows because it sounds horrible. That shit crazy. Mics and everything sound good and stuff like that, but bringing up videos and stuff like that are things that matter to put things in more content like we was doing when we was rocking. Just saying. We rock. But, you know, I gave y'all something, a little bit of something, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. I'm sorry, y'all. We're going to get more professional as years coming to days and days, times and times. Everybody anticipating. subscribing to the channel, sharing, all that good stuff. You know? Keep it underage smoking on social media, having a cannabis station. Starting that cannabis station, y'all. We're going to end the show like that on a horrible note. Bad night, good night, whatever. I'm sorry, you know. I'm going to give it to y'all. Peace.